Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I'm here with something new for this month, Sketchy Recipe Extravaganza with Scrap a Sketch on Facebook. It is the infamous and fantastic Lisa Sikorsky who creates all of the sketches. And this is for December. So this is our sketch, and here is the recipe. The recipe will go throughout the entire month, all of the sketches, and what she wants is for you to pick at least 5 things off this ingredient list to use on each of your layouts, and it can be any one of them, any 5. You can use the same 5 every time. You could change it up. You can use more than 5, but just make sure you use 5. I have these Chamel I almost said picture books. Paper pads that a friend of mine sent me after she used what she wanted out of them. And so I thought I would try and use some of that because I'm documenting dressing up for Halloween or book character day in a crocodile outfit, and my friends were dressed in Peter Pan and different other characters. And so I thought that this Chamel collection would be a good fit for that, since she is pretty good at like fantasy and things like that. So this is, I used only Head in the Clouds. I did pull another collection or another paper pad, but I don't end up using that. And so I'm just sharing some of the things that I've pulled that I'm going to use to get my 5 things from the recipe. And I will go through all of that as I use it. So, but I wanted to make sure I had everything out except for maybe the colors. So here is the recipe again. And that will be posted. Here is the sketch. So let's see how this goes. So first things first, I picked this background paper, even though my intention is to use a stencil, a star stencil on top of all those stars. And that's what I do. This stencil is the All-Star stencil. I think it's called All-Star stencil from Scrapping Reflections. I love it. And I got out my stormy sky to create the stars. And I was originally going to do rainbow, but that's what the background paper is. And so I thought that I would go ahead and just do one color. However, it kind of turns out to be more than one color because I didn't get all of the yellow off of my brush. So there's a little grayish, greeny. There's a little yellow towards the top. You know, I was just going to go with whatever. And then at some point I did clean it off, and the rest of them are going to be predominantly the stormy sky, which is a little darker, grayer than I was planning, but I'm okay with that. I really just wanted to go with the theme of the stars, since that is, the third sun or the third star on to morning or something from Peter Pan, and that's what we're dressed up like. So I thought that would be good. And like I said, I felt like this collection, the Head in the Clouds, was going to be good because it's fairy tale. So I pulled these clouds up, thought that would be good, and then I picked this dark maroon. It's got a lot of like positive words on it. It says things about adventure and believe, rise and shine, things like that. I thought that would be really fitting, and I thought that really bright color or darker color would stand out because of all the other colors I picked are lighter. So, and then I picked that camera paper. So there are my 4 pattern papers, which is one of the recipe. Using a stencil is one from on the recipe. Having stars is one. So I've already got 3, and then more than 2 pictures is another one. So I have 4 of my 5 recipe needs as of right now. And so I decided that picture paper that I was going to put my pictures on, it was so busy that the pictures were disappearing in it. So I decided to mat them in black with like just a thin border. And I lay those down right next to each other. I don't leave a gap between them except for the black border. So it helps stand out on that paper. And you really can't tell that there's cameras on that paper just because I ended up putting that black paper. There's not as much of a border, but I'm okay with that. You can see the colors popping through, which helps, and that's okay. And I am going to bring in a camera for the embellishment. So I get that tacked down, and I don't know if I have not tacked down that other paper yet. So I'm just making sure that everything is even, looks okay, and that this is still going to look right with what I've got going on. And there's no telling, I could be watching something on YouTube. That's why I'm hesitating. I don't know, you all. Or talking to my kid. That's a super possibility as well. So I decided to make my own picture frame for that bit that looks like a frame. And so I take this pink star paper, so more stars, and I bring that in, and I'm gonna trim it down. I think I made it about 7 inches, and then I gut it to where I had the frame. And I'm going to end up using that inside part as well, or at least a big portion of it. But so now I have my 5th item for the recipe, which is to use a frame, and it's a frame I made, but I feel like that would be fine, even though I am an overachiever. And there will be more things that come into play that will take care of more than 5. I think I ended up with 8 items from the recipe list, and that's fine. Oh, mixed media, the ink and stuff. So I put the frame down and I cut it in half because I wanted it to be a little longer than it was going to be. I wanted to have a bit more of a gap at the bottom. In the sketch, it's pretty close to the bottom of the picture, like that where I have that dark maroon paper. So I gave it a little bit more of a gap there so you could see more of the clouds. And I really do like the way that this turned out. I was getting a little concerned at one point. There were a lot of times in this layout where I thought, oh my gosh, like when I was inking and it was the wrong color. But, it is what it is. And I actually really do like the way that it turned out. And I love the fact that there's a border of the solid stars that's not interrupted by the inking. And of course, I knew it was going to do that because there's a border around the stencil from Scrapping Reflections. So I took the inside part of that frame and I'm going to tack part of it down here at the bottom because she has 2 strips on the top and 2 strips on the bottom. And I originally thought I would use washi for that. And as you can see, I have 2 different washi than what I originally shared in the beginning, because after I got the papers picked out, I looked at the washi and it was more of a peachy color, and there is not any peach in this. So I decided I'd go back into my stash and find something that would work. So I found this purple stripe, and it is, practically identical to the purpley blue color of that cloud paper, and that made me very happy. And I'm going to bring some more of that color in with a couple embellishments in a little while. I don't end up using that pink that I pulled out. It's kind of the same color as the writing on that maroon or magenta paper, but I felt like just the 1 strip of washi was good, which brings me another one of the items on the recipes, which was using washi. So I put those down at the top and the bottom. I love the way that turned out. Now, I did use some double-sided tape because washi tape I haven't really found a washi tape that sticks really good, and that's fine, but, it kind of irritates me that it's tape, but it's supposed to stick. But that's okay. I just used it. I almost always put it down when I'm putting it on the front of a layout, just because I don't want it to fall off or roll up or get caught. So now I am going to bring out my sticker book that came with the Head in the Clouds, and I'm going to try and use some of this stuff up. So I first pull this sticker right here, and this is going to be my title, and it says Imaginary Friends Club, which I thought was perfect for this because this is my coworkers who are also my friends. And so we dressed up for Book Character Day, which happened to be Halloween, and I dressed up like a crocodile. And I'm sharing that with you all. And that picture in the middle of that is me. After I got my costume, I sent a picture to my friends so that they knew what my costume looked like. I also had another picture, and you may have seen it in the very beginning, and I did not put it on here because I didn't need that many pictures, but it was me on the morning of fake brushing the teeth of my crocodile, because that's just the way I roll, you all. I am absolutely a big dope. So now I'm working on this cluster down here, and there's a camera on her cluster, and I love that. But this camera's got this huge, like with a flash on it, so I just cut that off because it looked crazy and it was going to come up over the picture, and I didn't want to cover this Peter Pan picked sticker that I found. It came from a Disney collection, and it was like a little kids thing, so I just tucked that over there. The only other thing I brought in that's not from this collection is I brought some crocodile / alligators that are over there on the right, and I'm going to get those on here. Those came from like a little puffy sticker collection. And then I'm also going to bring in a couple word phrases from Tim Holtz, and a flare that is sitting somewhere, maybe not in the view. So I put this little cluster of 3 hearts up here in the top right corner, and I started with that little aqua colored one, but it blended in with that background paper because of the stars. So I put a yellow one in front and a pink one behind so it would stand out better. And then I have that little mermaid I tucked in there. None of us dressed up like mermaids, but there's mermaids in Peter Pan. I was good with that. I did look for an embellishment of Tinkerbell. I know I have one somewhere, but I did just spend practically my entire summer last year creating 8 books of Disney layouts. I probably used all my Tinkerbell up. Good chance of that, guys. Good chance. So I looked, but not like terribly hard. So I put a butterfly up at the top. I have another butterfly kind of that's in flight right there above the pictures. I just really wanted to kind of, not a full diagonal, but I wanted a big cluster area up there because I thought that would help bring your eye kind of in that triangular up in the top, and then down over here on the left of the pictures, and then a small cluster underneath the picture, which I will be putting up there in a minute. Right now I am working on this. I put one of the word phrases that I pulled out, and the one on the bottom says live your dream with passion, and I put the little alligator / crocodile there. And then the one at the top says keep some room in your heart for the unimaginable. And so I cut it at the word heart and put that heart flare from the Flare Hut. And so there is the sketch again. Here is the ingredients. The only other thing I did was added another one that said out of limitations comes creativity. And so I put that down right below the picture with a little heart. And I'm just sharing and pointing out the different things that I did that were on this list. And I'm really excited. I hope that you all will complete some of these sketches, if not all of them. Every one that you complete, if you post a picture under if you'll comment on the sketch with your picture and your 5 ingredients, or at least post your picture. I don't think you have to list the ingredients that you put on there, but using your 5 ingredients. All of the ones that are posted by the 31st of January 2023 will be entered for a prize to win some crafty stuff. So Lisa will be taking care of that in the end of January. So make sure that you get those done. You've got plenty of time. It's 2 whole months. So I hope that you all had fun. I'll be back again with some more of these this month. And I hope you'll go check out Scrap a Sketch on Facebook. Have a fantastic day and happy scrapping.